Hi, my name's Sophie Hilaire. I'm a Wharton alum and an MBA admissions counselor at Stratus. And before I went to Wharton, I spent 6 years in the US Army, and after Wharton, I spent 5 years as a McKinsey consultant. And today I want to talk to you about how to nail your Wharton application essays. So Wharton asks 2 questions in its prompts. Across those 2 essays, Wharton really wants to know that you want to be specifically at Wharton. So be sure to thoroughly do your homework before you start writing. Make sure you talk to students and alumni and attend as many events as makes sense for you, whether it's in person or online. Really dig in when you're doing this research because Wharton wants a lot of specifics to know that you are really excited about attending and that if you are accepted, you will matriculate. They don't want to feel like they were just your backup plan if you didn't get into HBS or GSB. So essay 1 has 500 words. In there, it asks, how do you plan to use the Wharton MBA program to help you achieve your future professional goals? You might want to consider your past experience, short and long-term goals, and resources available at Wharton. So a strong essay response to this prompt is going to start by contextualizing what your future goals are. You don't have a lot of room in this essay with only 500 words. So first, what you want to do is discuss how you have grown and developed professionally, or potentially through a particular interest of yours. Then you want to share what the next step in your career will be after you graduate and how you're going to accelerate getting to that next step through your MBA at Wharton. Through this essay, you want to remember to be authentic. There's really no Wharton-specific goal that the admissions committee is hoping for you to say. They want to hear what makes you unique. However, it is really important that they believe you need an MBA specifically from Wharton in order to achieve those goals. Share your research on the program as well, like I talked about earlier, but not just as this laundry list of classes and clubs. You're going to want to make it a thoughtful discussion of how you will use the Wharton experience to grow. It's kind of like your Wharton game plan. You can show the admissions committee that you are coming onto campus with a plan that you're ready to execute. And you can make it clear also how you plan to leverage Wharton's alumni network, which happens to be the biggest of any business school. If the admissions committee believes that you're going places, they're going to want to attach their brand to you. Essay 2 gives you 400 words, and it states, taking into consideration your background, personal, professional, and/or academic, how do you plan to make specific, meaningful contributions to the Wharton community? So this essay is kind of a challenge for a lot of people. It has 2 distinct parts, and if you divide them roughly equally, you only have 200 words, which is really only a few sentences for each. So the first part of your essay, you want to share an experience, a story, bring it to life, something that defined who you are today. And that experience that you describe should illuminate very specific values of yours. And then you're going to take those values and you're going to talk about how you would apply them at Wharton. It isn't enough just to say, okay, now I'm going to apply these at Wharton. You want to show that you have a deep understanding of the applicability of this trait and how that will show up at Wharton. So, for example, where will your impact be felt, or how will you contribute? I've had clients talk about all sorts of different ways of how these traits will shine through. Some of them talk about, planning and executing Wharton Follies. Some of them talking about being a venture fellow. Some of them talk about how they're going to support their fellow classmates in recruiting and getting that consulting job. Really doesn't matter where it manifests. All that matters is that you have a clear plan. And there's a required essay for any reapplicants. This one has 250 word limit. It states, please use this space to share with the admissions committee how you have reflected and grown since your previous application and discuss any relevant updates to your candidacy, such as changes in your professional life, additional coursework, and extracurricular or volunteer engagements. So if you're a reapplicant, this is the space where you get to show how you've grown and changed since you last applied. You do not want to send in the exact same essays and application and test scores and everything. Something must have changed, and you want to highlight that here. Ideally, you've actually not only changed, but improved on some aspect of your profile. Maybe you have a higher test score this time around, maybe you have more work experience or a promotion or got involved in another extracurricular activity. Whatever it is, be sure to also explain what it is specifically about Wharton that makes you excited to apply again. They want to feel the love. So this can be a great way to show the specific and sincere reasons why you value a Wharton MBA in particular. And finally, the optional essay has a 500 word limit. It states, please use this space to share any additional information about yourself that cannot be found elsewhere in your application and that you would like to share with the admissions committee. The space can also be used to address any extenuating circumstances, such as unexplained gaps in work experience, choice of recommenders, inconsistent or questionable academic performance, areas of weakness, etc., that you would like the admissions committee to consider. So this essay truly is optional, and the question only needs to be addressed really if there is anything negative potentially in your application that could be misconstrued, like gaps in employment that you want to explain, or any other situations where providing background would be helpful. Also, though, it could be a positive thing. If you have any special extracurricular causes or work you believe would further illustrate who you are and you didn't get a chance to say that in any of your essays, this would be a good place to mention that. But remember, there's no need to make this essay any longer than it needs to be. Well, that about wraps it up. Good luck to everyone on your Wharton essays. Please reach out to us here at Stratus if you're interested in having a free 30-minute consultation to assess your profile, or if you're just interested in learning more about our services.